Welcome back to the channel. My name is a-bomb. We're back with Football Manager 2020 and a deal with the Devils with Manchester United. We are taking on Watford today at Vicarage Road. We've had some difficult games recently. I thought we'd try and go for what in theory should be a bit of an easier fixture. We've faced teams like Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Leicester recently. So Watford hopefully will be a bit more of an easier game. Saying that, we'll probably lose this. If you're enjoying the series, make sure you leave a like and leave comments. If you're new or you haven't done so already, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications. So last episode, we scraped a 1-0 win at home against Arsenal. It wasn't the most spectacular of games. There weren't a great deal of chances in this one, but it was 3 points on the board. And off camera, 6 games, only 3 opponents. I'll explain more in a second, but let's get through them first of all. First up was the FA Cup 5th round tie against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And we managed to win this 1-0. We're doing really well against Chelsea. We've beaten them in every time we faced them, I think. I might be wrong. I think we've won every time because we beat them 5-0 at home. We won at Stamford Bridge. I'm pretty sure we've beaten them every time. And this was 1-0 in the FA Cup. Cavani with the only goal just after half an hour. Chelsea had lots of shots, lots of possession, but there weren't great chances really. They've created 3 chances compared to our 1 other than our goal. We didn't even defend that well. Chelsea just weren't very good with their finishing. So we made them pay with that goal and we managed to keep them out. So that got us through to the FA Cup quarterfinal. I'll show you who we got in a minute. After that, we were away against Crystal Palace in the league. This was a goalless draw at Old Trafford. This was when we started getting really silly draws on camera earlier in the season at the start. We got a 0-0 draw at home. At Selhurst Park, though, it was 2-0 to us. Again, not a great deal of shots in this one. It's the same thing again, that we're getting results without playing especially well. Mason Greenwood got a start and got a goal on 34 minutes. It might be his first Premier League goal, but I might be wrong about that. Do correct me. In fact, I'm probably correct myself. Pogba got the second goal. That came on 79 minutes. He's in double figures now. I think he's on 12 goals for the season, maybe 11. Pogba's been instrumental to how well we've been doing this season. Palace created some chances, but we were pretty good on the defensive. De Gea had a solid game in goal. Wan-Bissaka did well. Phil Jones performed well. So we did really well. Palace played pretty well, but again, just could not find that all-important goal. And then we had the consecutive games against Wolverhampton. We had them in the Europa League draw, and we also faced them in the league in between. So 3 matches in a row against Wolves. In the first leg of the Europa League round, it was a 1-1 draw at Molineux. Didn't get the win, but we did get the all-important away goal. And that was scored by Juan Mata on the 22nd minute, just before the midway point of the first half. Great finish as well. Good 30-yarder from Mata. Wolves equalised just over 10 minutes later, Diogo Jota with their goal. It stayed 1-1. It wasn't a great game. It was a pretty dull match, in all honesty. Like I said, not a great deal of chances created. Lots of key passes. Sandro Tonali, for us, has been really, really good since we signed him. He's forced himself into the team, getting starts, especially when Pogba's being rotated, because he does need a rest now and then. Tonali has been very, very good. Before the second leg against Wolves, we did host them in the Premier League, and it was a 3-0 home win. Great performance here, very, very dominant. Wolves barely even strung a pass together. We had 34 shots to their 5. It was 1-0 on the 20th minute as it was an own goal by Jesus Vallejo. Unfortunate one, it just ricocheted off him. There's nothing he could have done about it. In the second half, we doubled the lead. Martial with a rare goal, only his 4th goal of the season. That came on 68 minutes. And then Chong scored on 75 minutes to make it 3-0. Chong getting man of the match. And yeah, good performance here. Defended very, very well. Lots of shots, just very, very dominant. The second leg of the Europa League, though, same fixture. Old Trafford, different story. It was a goalless draw as Wolverhampton held us, and we only managed to get through to the next round on away goals. So a little bit disappointing. We are through to the next round where we've got Arsenal, another all-English tie, but needing away goals, I would have liked a bit more of a decisive win here. I think we were the better team on the night. We had more shots on target, although Wolves did have a bit more of the ball. We just created some more chances. Wolves didn't create too much. They've got some good passes, but didn't really create a big chance. So we are through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. As I said, it's another all-English tie as we've got Arsenal. Because we've just faced them in the league, I'm not going to do that on camera. But if we get to the semi-finals, then I will be showing the Europa League on camera. Then we had the FA Cup 6th round, and would you know it, we got Wolves again. So we faced Wolves in 4 consecutive games. 4 times in, I think, 11 days, I think it was. I might have been more than that, but 4 times inside 2 weeks. That's insane. I don't think that's ever happened to me that I faced the same team 4 times in a row. But this was a 3-2 win after extra time, this one. A very close run game. Wolves took a lead on the half-hour mark. Jota scoring again against us, and Wolves led for the rest of the half. But then Martial with a brace in the second half, finally getting some important goals for us. He scored on 51 minutes and then scored on 66 minutes to give us a 2-1 lead. But then Wolves equalised themselves. Bruno Jordão, who I don't recognise, I think may have been a new signing, scored a volley from about 30 yards, absolutely stunning goal, and it made it 2-2, sent it to extra time. We did get the winning goal in extra time. Andreas Pereira, who replaced Lingard in the second half, getting a 96th minute goal, putting us through after extra time to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We're going to be taking on Liverpool. That game will be on camera. That will probably be next episode. But with that, and with potential Europa League semi-finals, there's going to be a lot of games happening at the moment. So that might mean maybe more episodes with fewer spaces in between. I'm not quite sure though, because once you start getting to all these big semi-finals and finals, there's a lot of games that you really need to be playing, especially when you've got finals to think about as well. So we do keep that unbeaten run going after that defeat against Leicester. We haven't lost since then. Couple of draws, but they were both in the Europa League, so the winning streak in the league is back up again. I think that's 6 league wins in a row. What's been just as interesting though is not just the results on the pitch, but some of the goings on in some of the club's boardrooms. Looking at the Premier League table, you can see that we are now a point clear of Man City and top of the table with a game in hand. So that is very big. And beating Watford today could see us go 4 points clear at the top of the table. Arsenal down in third as well, they're 9 behind us. So it looks like it's turning into a 2-horse race with 8 games left for us. But Man City, despite it being 1 point off top spot, have sacked Pep Guardiola. You can see Paul Harsley is in charge, caretaker manager. One of the favourites to take over is Michael O'Neill, the Northern Ireland manager. But then also you have Pochettino, and you also have the Valencia manager, but I can't remember his name. But yeah, City second in the league, but they're out of the Champions League at the round of 16, Inter Milan beating them. They're out of the EFL Cup, and they're lost in the FA Cup to Burnley. So obviously, City have won the league in the past 2 seasons. The board obviously want Champions League, and Guardiola hasn't delivered it, so he's been sacked. Amazing scenes, and maybe they'll start losing more points. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know who they'll bring in. Pochettino's in the mix because he got sacked by Spurs in early January. But they have approached Rafa Benitez for a manager's job as well. So there's a few players interested in the post, but it's mad that Guardiola's been sacked. They're 1 point off top spot, but obviously they haven't won anything else yet. They might have a trophyless season if they can't catch us. We might win the league, meaning City have a trophyless season. That could happen. But anyway, let's focus on Watford. This was the team that we put out in the last game against Wolves in the FA Cup. Lindelof is suspended because he's picked up a few too many yellow cards. See, I think he's the only one that's really had suspensions. I think Wan-Bissaka might have done, but Lindelof, I think he's just about on 10 yellows. We're going to go Jones and Maguire today because Tuanzebe's a little bit tired, needs a bit of a fitness test, but I think he'd be fit enough to make the bench. Rashford is back after his ankle injury, so Daniel James is going to come out of the team because he's not really fully fit. Shaw needs a rest, so Ashley Young's going to start at left back. Lingard's going to come back out and Chong's going to go back in because Chong's been better than Lingard. Lingard out of form at the moment. Pereira's going to come in as well. We'll make him a Mazzala because Danilo Pereira's been alright. He's averaged over 7 for the season. He's doing okay. Martial's definitely improved as of late, so we're going to leave him in. Watford with a 4-4-1-1, really. Quite defensive formation. Hopefully we can break it down. Okay, we are underway at Vicarage Road. Let's see if we can continue this league winning streak. We haven't dropped any points since that big defeat against Leicester. Well, we're approaching half an hour, and there hasn't been our highlight yet. It's been a highlightless game. 42 minutes played in the first half of the game sees Watford in possession. Long ball, and Harry Maguire cuts it out. Goes long, finds Cavani, and it's cleared forward by the Watford defender. Here's Sandro Tonali. I praised him before the game. He's played well. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Can he put a cross in there? He goes backwards to the Italian. Here's Harry Maguire. Watford sitting very deep here. And that was a wayward cross by, I think it was Wan-Bissaka. There's no one in the 18-yard box. No one anywhere near it. Chong to Tonali. He's found Martial. Martial, can he take it past the man? He can. Is he going to go for goal? Oh, that was very close. I think it might have just clipped the post. That was a great bit of football by Martial, though. More of that, please. And there might be a chance for a goal, maybe, with about 30 seconds left. Tonali Goes long, finds Martial, good control. Martial, Cavani's got to score that, and he does. 24 for the season now for Edinson Cavani. I think he's worth that money you're paying him. 350 grand a week. And just before half time, he's managed to make it 1-0. Very crucial time to score a goal. Martial, really good first touch to control it. And then just rolls it across the goal. Cavani gets there. And it's 1-0. Right, more of that, please. Martial, turning provider there. Doesn't get a lot of assists. He hasn't got many goals or assists this season. So to see him set someone up, that's nice to see. Chong's been a bit quiet on the right. So Lingard could come on. And here's Gerard Deulofeu. Manages to outpace Ashley Young. Goes for goal. Not very threatening effort. Ashley Young is definitely the weak spot. And we are going to be buying a good left back in the summer. Don't you worry. Because Young, his contract's up at the end of the season. He's leaving. We're going to get another left back in, definitely. It's Cathcart here. Set piece with Watford. Capoue. And Will Hughes. Great save. I've left Romero in goal, I just realised. I didn't mean to do that. I should have brought David De Gea back in. But Romero's made a stunning save there. Harry Maguire is not playing well. What's that about? Chong's going to come off for Lingard. I don't know what's wrong with Maguire. He's on the 6.0. So that's interesting. I'm just going to bring Tonali just in front of that back four. We're just going to make that little change. Well, the second goal is going to be important here. We don't really want to be dropping points. We don't want to let Man City anywhere near us. Deulofeu outpacing Young here. Ashley Young, great sliding tackle. Do you know what? Sometimes he's really good. All right, 75 minutes forward. I'm going to make a second change. I'm going to bring on Danilo Pereira. Just bring him back as that anchor man ahead of the back line. Put Tonali back as that playmaker in the middle of the field. And maybe go for something like this. Just stagger it a bit maybe. But we're scraping these results at the moment. Another instance here of us maybe only winning 1-0. But it might be time for a second goal with less than 10 minutes left. Watford have only had one shot on target. And now they've had two. They shut me up, didn't they? Mata is going to come off. And McTominay is going to come on. And we're just asking them to tighten up as we approach injury time, of which there's probably only going to be 3 or 4 minutes. 5 minutes. Late free kick here for Watford. It's Tom Cleverley. And another save by Sergio Romero. Do you know what? Maybe not bringing De Gea in. Would he have got to those? Probably, but you never know. Romero, he's put in a good shift today. Last chance of the game here. We've had 5 minutes of injury time. Watford really need to score from this corner to save a point. And it's gone over everyone. And hopefully this will be cleared by Wan-Bissaka or someone. It's Etienne Capoue. And it's Cleverley. Oh, and it was Young with a block. And that's full time. It's another 1-0 win. I say we played well. Defending was, apart from Maguire, defending was fine. I don't know why Maguire got a 6.0. 5 mistakes. That explains it. 2 missed interceptions and 2 times that he lost possession. So Maguire not really having a good game there. But we managed to get a clean sheet despite that and get a 1-0 win away from home. And that will hopefully open a gap to 4 points ahead of Man City. Managerless Man City. 4 points ahead of City. 12 ahead of Arsenal, although they still do have a game to play. It's looking like the league's ours to lose, but City could still close that gap. Like I said, we've got City on the 3rd to last day, and we also have a trip to Anfield as well. So that's going to be 2 very interesting games there, and could very well decide the title. But we are going to be seeing Liverpool next time as we face them at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. Of course, Arsenal off camera in the Europa League. Hopefully we'll have a semi-final of that coming up as well. But it looks like it's going to be a very busy end of season for us. Yes, Liverpool next time, FA Cup semi-final. Hopefully there will be a cup final after that. That's going to be a difficult game though. We'll have to try and see if we can get something there. And then after that, Europa League semi-final potentially. Maybe a final for that, maybe an FA Cup final. Got some league games left as well. It's going to be a hectic end of season. But that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, do leave a like down below, leave comments. And if you haven't done so already, or if you're new, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications. I will see you in the next episode where we're going to try and book our place in the FA Cup final. And let's see if we can get through this season with a trophy. I'm hoping we can get at least one trophy, whether that be the FA Cup, the Europa League, or the Premier League. I'm going to try and win at least one of those, hopefully. If we beat Liverpool, the other semi-final is Leeds and Fulham, 2 championship sides. So you would think if we beat Liverpool, we're clear favourites to win the FA Cup. So this, to me, is the cup final. If we win this, then you would hope that we'd win the FA Cup and beat Leeds or Fulham on the final. Stranger things have happened though. That's it for now guys, thank you very much for watching and I will see you soon. Goodbye.